Galera, gente, povo, whatever the word is in Portuguese. Today we're going to talk about the 10 things that we are grateful for in Brazil over here, the things that keep us sane living here every day. And today is going to be about being grateful, and I want to give a shout out to Sonny who's taught me to be grateful for the stuff that we have. The first 8 things are going to be things that you might have expected, might not have expected, but the last 2 are for sure going to blow your mind if you are from Europe. So make sure to stay tuned for those. Quit staring at my pussy. And if you want her to eat this month, you better subscribe, because less than 50% of you are subscribed. So full disclaimer for the Brazilians that are watching, I am currently living in Natal, so everything I'm saying is going to be linked to Natal, based on the people that I've met here, the culture from around here, and the things that I have done right over here. For all the gringos, Natal is on the most eastern point of the country. It's actually pretty close, relatively close to Africa. It's about 600 kilometers away from the equator. That means that there's always 24/7 all year long a hot girl summer going on right here. And that brings us straight into our first thing that we are grateful for in Brazil, and it's the weather. And I know it's cliche, but if we're talking about things that we are grateful for, we are supposed to look at the things, at the everyday things. And it's just hot here every day of the year. It's now winter here, which means that it's only about like 26, 27, 28 degrees. Sometimes it's even still 30 degrees. Just the wind is a little bit colder. Now, what do you do when it's too hot? You're looking for things to cool down, right? And that brings us right into number 2, and that is acai. Wow, I fell in love with acai the first time I tried it. My favorite place to go and eat acai is Acai Emporio. And there's nothing more that I love to do after a day at the beach to close out the day, to go to Acai Emporio. You just get a cup and you drop some acai in there. You can get natural acai, you can get acai with maracuja, you can get acai with morango, with all kinds of stuff. And in the end, you put your plate on a scale and you pay based on how heavy your plate is. Now, if you want to stay healthy, of course, you can top it off with a bunch of fruits like morango, banana, kiwi. If you're a little bit of a sweet tooth, you can also add condensed milk, leite condensado. You can also add leite de po. Of course, you can also add like small M&Ms, a bunch of different kinds of candy, but I prefer to just add some fruits on my aci and keep it relatively healthy. Now, if there's one thing the Brazilians know how to do, in my opinion, it's like celebrating food. There's a huge culture here around food. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm from Belgium. We love to eat food as well. We love our chocolate, we love our waffles, our batatas fritas. But here in Brazil, the food culture is different. Whenever you go to a restaurant, not all restaurants, but a lot of restaurants, when you go there with a bunch of people, your friends or family, you order plates for like a bunch of people at once. In Belgium, everybody orders a separate plate, but here in Brazil, you order plates for 2 people, 3 people, sometimes 6 people, and then they bring all the food in big portions to the table. So everybody gets like an empty plate, and then you just start putting on your plate whatever you want. And the same goes for the beer. In Belgium, you would order your beer, everybody would order their separate beers and drink their beers. Here you order a bigger bottle, like half a liter. Sometimes it's only 350, sometimes it's half liter, sometimes it's even more. And everybody gets those very small cups. And the beer is just super, super cold. Okay, I guess I'm kind of a foodie, but I wouldn't have ever labeled myself as a foodie, but the next 2 points are also going to be about food. I promise after that I'll stop making you hungry and I'll list a few things that you probably didn't expect to be on this list. So be sure to stick around for that one. So there's 2 more foods on this list, and the first one is feijoada. Every Brazilian loves feijoada. I've been here 7 months. Everybody talks about feijoada. Everybody eats feijoada. I haven't met one person that doesn't like feijoada. Now, what is feijoada? Well, it's in the name actually. Feijão is the Brazilian word for beans. So feijoada is actually a stew made of black beans and meat. And you just put it all together, and then you let it stir on the fire for a few hours, and then you have this very nice thick stew that comes out, and it looks pretty shitty, but it tastes delicious. And again, this is like a food people generally share with a lot of people. A lot of time when we go and eat somewhere, they've made like a big pot of feijoada to share with everyone, and then they just eat feijoada with some rice and farofa. I'm not gonna go into depths about farofa in this video, but personally, I don't like farofa. I don't understand why people eat farofa, but I'll show a picture right here. It's basically flour with butter, I think, and that's about it. I don't like it, but everybody here in Brazil loves farofa. Last but certainly not least on my list of foods is pastel. And my favorite pastel to eat is pastel filled with shrimps and cheese sauce. There's pastels in different forms and different sizes, and you can put in your pastel whatever you want. You can put in carne de sol, which is a kind of meat. You can put in just cheese. You can put camarões, shrimp in there. So you can do whatever you want, big, small, whatever you like to eat, you can put in there. But my favorite pastel to eat is, of course, the pastel of the restaurant called Camarões. And everybody in Natal knows this restaurant. I think it's considered one of the best restaurants in Natal. Everybody loves it, and Camarões is actually comes from the word shrimp in Portuguese, which is camarão. We've talked about food enough. It's time to move on and go to the next point. And the sixth point on this list is going to be the people. The people in Brazil are actually quite amazing. Now, I'm blessed in Belgium. I was very blessed with my friends. They were very open, very welcoming. But here in Brazil, it's more than the culture. It's different. Everybody always says bom dia, boa tarde. Whenever you're going somewhere, even if you don't know the people, people will greet you. It's just a very open and welcoming culture. For example, last week I went to the beach and I bought myself a ball because I saw that a lot of people on the beach here play foot volley. In contrary to in Belgium, where people just lay on the beach and that's about all they do, here the people on the beach are way more active. They play volleyball, they play foot volley, they play tennis. So I bought myself a ball because I wanted to do it as well. We just arrived at the beach, and before you even knew it, there were some other people asking to join in and teaching me how to play with the ball because I'm really not that good with balls.
That's what she said.
There are people there that were working on the beach that were selling filled pancakes. If you're ever in Brazil, try the filled pancakes on the beach. They are really good. But the people that were working in the pancake stall, they were teaching me how to play with the ball. They even noticed that my ball was new and that it was actually pretty hard still. So they found a tool somewhere. They went out of their way to find a tool, flatten the ball a little bit and make it easier to play with it. And that brings us to place number 7. And we have to mention the thing that unites all the people here in Brazil, and that is their language, Spanish. Just kidding. It's not Spanish. If you're ever coming to Brazil, don't assume that the people talk Spanish. The native language of Brazil is Portuguese. They were conquered by the Portuguese, and that's their native language. Now, for all my European friends or other people that have visited Portugal before, the Portuguese from Brazil is very different from the Portuguese from Portugal. Personally, I'm sorry, Portugal, I don't really like how the Portuguese of Portugal sound. When I heard the Portuguese from Brazil, it was just so much better. It's so much more happy, so much more warmer. There's way more pronunciation. It's way lighter than the Portuguese from Portugal, and there's just way more. It feels like it's just a very easy language to express yourself in. Now, if you really want to know how the Portuguese from Brazil sounds, in my next video, I'm going to the beach and I'm interviewing people on the beach to see how smart the Brazilians are. Now, if you're watching this video in the future, then I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. If you're watching this video the moment it is released, then you'll have to wait 2 more days to see that video. So I'm talking Portuguese in that video as well. I'm clearly not fluent yet, but it might just be funny for you guys to watch. Eighth thing, the eighth thing I'm grateful for here in Brazil. I'm actually gonna cheat a little bit and I'm gonna ask what you guys really like about Brazil. If there's any Brazilians watching this, let me know what the thing is you like the most about your country. If you've ever visited Brazil, if you're not from Brazil but you visited it before, let me know what the thing was you liked the most about Brazil. If you've never been to Brazil, think about whatever you know about Brazil and let me know in the comments below what your images of Brazil. Brazil has a lot more to offer than favelas and the Amazon rainforest. So if you know what else it has, drop it in the comments below. Now, number 9, Brazilians. Let's talk about your bathrooms. In Belgium, what do we have? We have one big bathroom for the whole family, which in hindsight is actually kind of shitty because whenever you're doing stuff in the morning, you have to wait for the others to take their shower, or you just don't respect their privacy at all and you do it all together in the same bathroom. Here, you don't really have one big bathroom. You have several bathrooms. Most of the time, you even have one bathroom for each room. Like me and Bia, we live in a two bedroom apartment, and we have two bathrooms. Her dad, for example, he lives in a like 4 5 bedroom apartment, but each bedroom has its own bathroom as well. Now, when we came to live here, me and Bia each claimed our own bathroom, but over time that kind of changed, and Bia claimed both bathrooms, and now she allows me to use one of the showers at least. Now, number 10 also has to do with the bathroom. Number 10 is all about this little thing you write here, and it's called a Chiverino, which means little shower in Portuguese. Now, when I first saw this, I was confused. When I first used it, I was confused. But basically, you use it whenever you've done number 1 or number 2. So when you went to the bathroom and you had yourself a nice poop, you just open your butt cheeks, you spread it wide and nice, and you spray in there with the Chiverino until, and then all the dirty juices will drain down into the toilet. And then all you need to do is just wipe it dry. You don't need to keep wiping because there's poop on your butt the whole time. You just wipe it dry one time. It's actually way cleaner than what we do in Belgium. When I'm thinking about it right now, it doesn't make sense at all. Also, the toilets here aren't meant to drop a lot of toilet paper in. First of all, because you don't need a lot of toilet paper because you clean yourself with a Chiverino. But second of all, most people here in Brazil don't drop their toilet paper in the toilet. They drop it in the trash can next to the toilet, which is something I still don't do. I still throw it in the toilet. To me, it's just very weird. Even though your butt is very clean after using the Chiverino, it's still weird in my mind to drop your toilet paper that you use to clean your butt into the trash can. So there you go. These were the 10 things that I'm really grateful for here in Brazil. And I'll leave you with a little bonus. Enjoy.